Hi everyone, it's Lydia here at Lydia's Leisurely Stitching. Today is Friday, November 21st, 2025, and I'm here with a Flosstube Extra. So I've been thinking about my plans for December, and I want to talk them out loud and just kind of mull over them. And if you have any opinions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. But I figured I'd start off with what I know I'm planning on doing in December, and then I have some possible new starts that I'm having trouble deciding between. So the first thing that I know I'm going to work on in December is Victorian Christmas Eve, which is what I'm showing here. And this is a pattern by the Cross Stitch Arts, and I've been working on this throughout the year. My goal for December is to do 1,200 stitches on it. And if I do that every month for the next few months, I'll get this finished in time for next Christmas. So let me show you what it looks like right now. So here's the whole thing. You get a little bit of a sneak preview. I've worked on this girl in red and this blue part of the building. I've put that in November, so you haven't seen that before. But that's Victorian Christmas Eve. And so I know I'm going to work on that for 1,200 stitches. And then the other thing that I know I'm going to work on is my Mill Hill kits. So let me show you. So this is the Village Bakery. Sorry for the glare. But my goal each year is to do one Mill Hill kit for the Christmas Village series. So I could show you, I've already done 4 of them in the past few years. There we go. So I've got caroling, ice skating, tree farm, and the bookseller. So I've got space for 2 more on this piece of fabric, and I know that I'll be doing at least 1. And so these Mill Hill kits, they're about 72 by 72, which if they were full coverage would be about 5,000 stitches. So I know that at maximum it'll take 5,000 stitches to do that. So that 5,000 stitches plus the 1,200 on Victorian Christmas Eve is a little over 6,000 stitches. So, so far this year I've been averaging anywhere between 14,000 and 19,000 stitches. So I know that the amount of stitching I have planned is not going to take up the entire month. So I'm kind of trying to decide what I should do for the rest of the year. I've already met all of my goals on all of my projects. I've doubled the goal on Once Upon a Fairy Tale, and I've done 150% of my goal on Victorian Christmas Eve and Ornament Log Cabin Home, which those are my full coverage projects. So I don't feel the need to work on those. I intentionally left December as a month to focus on Christmas stitching, but I'm finding that my Christmas stitching is not filling up the entire month. So I'm trying to decide what to do, and I'm weighing a couple of options in my mind. So one option would be to do an additional Mill Hill kit. And so I've also got Toy Shop. So I could do that, and that would bring me up to about 11,000 stitches. So that would be a good amount of stitches. I'm not sure if I want to do 2, but I think I'm kind of leaning that way. And then I wanted to show you some things that I'm thinking about starting. So if we go through, okay, so this is Fantastic Lodge Mushroom, and this is a Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is actually something that could be rescued from the abyss. I started this several years ago, and I've got the first page done. I have decided to crop off the first row of pages. So I could show you what I've done so far. So that would be this here. So that's what I've done so far on the Fantastic Lodge mushroom. So I haven't worked on this in several years. This has been a UFO for a long time. And I've kind of just been thinking about it recently. So I could go back and pull this out and get some stitching on it and see how I feel about it. We've also got a Mid-Amish Life, and this is from a Leisure Arts pamphlet. And let me pull up my notes. So this is 126 by 291, which puts it at 36,666 stitches. Now that assumes that it's full coverage. This blue in the sky is not stitched, but you can see that the majority of this is a full coverage piece. So I could start this. Special note for this one is that I was already planning on starting this one once I finish Victorian Christmas Eve. So this would be starting something that I plan on working on soon, just a little bit early. So there's that one. Another thing I could start, this is Cathedral. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs, and this is by Jonathan Earl Bowser. This one is 400 by 640, which just puts it at 256,000 stitches. Now this one is the one that I've had in my stash the longest. This was up for competition as my first full coverage piece, but obviously I didn't pick it, so this is still something I'm interested in stitching. There is a finish of this on the Haid Gallery, so I know if we zoom in, I'm not sure about the details in her face and the details here. I'm not sure if they would get blown out or how good the detail is in these. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant about starting this one. Up next for consideration, this is Drea, and it's another Heaven and Earth Designs, and this is by Dragon Art. This is 375 by 750, which makes it 281,250 stitches. Now, I really like this one. I love the red mushroom down here. This is not one that I had definitive plans to start in the future, so this would be just adding another full coverage whip into my rotation. So yeah, I'm not really sure which one to choose. Another one I'm thinking about, this is The Library, and this is from Heaven and Earth Designs again. This is by Auguste Toulmouche, and I have the mini version of this. I don't feel like there's a lot of detail that a regular size is necessary. So this one I have is 225 by 393, which makes it 88,425 stitches. So this one would be a faster stitch, which is something that I find appealing since I already have one large full coverage piece, and I'm not sure how I would feel about having multiple large full coverage pieces on the go at the same time. Something a little bit different. I could start these. These are the mushroom houses from Al Forest Embroidery, and the entire pattern is 159 by 159. This is something that I might start soon anyways, so giving this some dedicated time in December would be appealing. So Yeah, I like these little mushroom people. They're adorable. So that's a non-full coverage option for something I can start. And then the last one that I'm considering starting, this is Water's Edge, and this is by Witchy Art and Sunflower Stitches. This one is 300 by 420, which makes it 126,000 stitches. This would be nice because it would be nice to do a full coverage that is not from Heaven and Earth Designs. It'd be nice to branch out and try other designers, and I enjoy this artwork. So those are the things that I'm considering. So up for consideration would be starting an additional Mill kit beyond the one that's planned. Another consideration would be pulling out the fantastic lodge mushroom and putting some work into that long languishing UFO and seeing about putting it back into the rotation. Or I could start a new project, which I find appealing. I've got several full coverages here for consideration and varying sizes. So, for example, Water's Edge is one of the smaller ones, as well as Minnie the Library, and then I've got a couple of larger ones, Cathedral and Drea. So let me know what you think. What would you do if you were me? Give me suggestions. Is there one that you would start? Do you think that you would continue working on your other pieces or start something new? So leave me a comment below, and I love hearing from you guys. And I will be back at the end of the month for my November wrap-up. See you later.